Hello and welcome back to Oscar Recap. Today we will recap.
This woman is a superb husband. She only married poor people. As a result, her first 4 husbands have either become wealthy or became big stars. Finally, she found a farmer to marry. But Lisa is not happy. At all. She just wants to live a simple life. Lisa was born into an ordinary family. She was brought up to believe that money was the root of all evil. But her mother is a gold digger. She wants to marry her daughter off to a rich man. She is forced to go out with Alan, the town's rich boy. Alan's family has a mansion. He has a farm and a shopping mall. Lisa's mother is very happy with him. But Lisa hates him. In her eyes, Alan was like a viper. He had money and he could do whatever he wanted. She thinks everyone has to be subservient to him. On the road, Alan is racing his car and dumps William in the mud. He was the poorest man in town. Lisa expects him to be angry, but he doesn't care. William feels that it is important to be happy. His positive attitude towards life impressed Lisa. The next day, Lisa pretended to meet William by chance at his fishing spot. William is attracted by her beauty. The two soon fall in love. Lisa says that she just wanted to live an uneventful life, and William vowed that he would never be rich in his life, and that he would be there for her every day to make her happy. Lisa was so happy that she decided to marry him right away. After the wedding, William fulfilled his promise. He only worked 1 hour a day. The rest of his time was spent making amends to Lisa. Although they lived in poverty, but the couple had a good time. One day, the roof suddenly leaked. Lisa was drenched in water. When the roof suddenly leaked, Lisa was drenched in water. The two of them are sarcastic. William is furious and he decided to make a better life for Lisa. He became a salesman and started working hard. Soon, his business grew bigger and bigger. There was more money than there was room for. William was getting busier and busier. That all he wanted to do was work. He also bought Alan's company. He had no time for Lisa. Faced with an empty mansion, Lisa was very lonely. It wasn't long before William suffered a sudden cardiac arrest and died of exhaustion. Thus Lisa was left a widow and inherited $2 million. Devastated, she decides to go out for a break. To whomever this woman marries, who will become rich overnight. Lisa meets a poor painter on her travels. He has a chimpanzee that paints and a broken machine that paints. Other than that, he has nothing. Lisa likes the poor ones. She soon marries the painter and entered into her second marriage. The couple lived on very little, but Lisa was happy. Lisa felt happy. One day, she proposes to the painter that he use sound waves to make a painting with a machine. To her surprise, the painting was a hit with collectors. It sold for $40,000. Afterwards, the artist used sound waves from different records. He then used the sound waves from different records to make the machine create all sorts of paintings. Soon he became a famous painter. Lisa lived in a mansion, living the life of a rich man again. But then something happened to her that caused her distress. The painter was so absorbed in his daily work. He was too absorbed in his work to care about her. She goes to the painter's studio. She saw him working on several machines. No matter how much Lisa tried to discourage him, he would not listen to her. Just then, the arm of the machine went out of control. An explosion ensued. The painter died instantly. Lisa was widowed again. She has inherited $4 million. She wants to leave this sad place. By the time she gets to the airport, the plane has already taken off. Here, Lisa meets a rich man. The rich man invites her along. All the way there, the rich man is busy with his work, but Lisa could see that he was not happy. So, while he was flying the plane, she went into the cockpit to keep him company. He was so happy, he even turned down a call from his business partner for her. Lisa was impressed by him, and the rich man was rich enough not to be distracted by work, so they were married. Life after the wedding was very sweet. The wealthy man was so devoted to her that he didn't care about his business affairs. Lisa changes into a different dress every day and accompanies him to every party. But to her surprise, this woman's husband-boosting qualities are so overpowering that the wealthy husband completely ignored business matters, but tripled her assets. Lisa thinks about how her previous husbands have died after making their fortunes. She is so worried about the rich man's safety. She decides to take him to live in the country. The rich man has no doubts about this. The two of them contracted a farm. They raised a few cows. They live a simple life. But then the unexpected happens. One day, the rich man went to milk a cow. When he held out his hand to the cow, the bull was not pleased. He kicked the rich man off his feet, and so he met God. Lisa instantly put on a mask of pain, and to add to her misery, she has to inherit $1.5 billion. Lisa becomes a widow for the third time. On this day, she goes to the shop for coffee. She meets a clown actor. He warmly invites Lisa to see him perform. Everyone finds his performance tasteless, but Lisa is enthralled. She also learns that the clown is not discouraged by the scorn of the crowd. He lives a positive life every day. Lisa feels healed by the clown's mentality. She feels that she has found true love again, so she married Joker. After their marriage, the two lived in a ramshackle house, living with a comedian. Lisa was full of smiles every day. One day before a performance, the clown couldn't get his makeup on and rushed on stage. He didn't expect his handsome appearance. He received his first applause from the audience. He then became more and more famous. He became an actor of national and international renown. He was too busy. He had no time for Lisa. It wasn't long before tragedy struck again. At the Joker's fan meeting, the fans went too crazy. A stampede occurs and the Joker dies. Lisa, bereaved of her husband, inherits another $30 million, but she has no interest in money at all. She donates it all to the public coffers. The staff thought she was crazy and take her to see a psychiatrist. Here she meets Alan, who has become a caretaker after going bankrupt. He says his life began with the loss of everything. Now, he lives a life of freedom. Lisa admires his attitude. She married him. After the marriage, they farmed for a living. They had 4 children. Lisa felt that the spell should be lifted from her. But the next day, Alan unearthed oil on his doorstep while plowing the land. Lisa is desperate. Was she going to get rich again? At that moment, some workers arrived. They said the oil was theirs. Lisa cried tears of joy as she hugged her husband. Fortunately, it was a false alarm. Lisa's husband's magic has failed her. He was able to live a normal life.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss any updates.